We'll start by sorting these fabrics by value, from dark to light, a quick trick that works for both beginners and experienced quilters. This is the magical key to the creative fun that we're going to have today. It will help us create awesome quilts with interesting designs, even with simple shapes and no pattern to follow. You see, even when you stick to just one color family, playing with value can create sparkle, rhythm, flow, or the illusion of movement, or even glow or luminosity in your quilts. Here's a simple way to make sure your fabrics are in order by value. Take a quick photo and remove the color. You see how simple that is? And just to be clear, we're sticking to one color at a time today to keep things simple, but this method works with any combination of colors that you like, even multicolored prints. Hi, I'm Beth Ann. I figure that since half square triangles are fast and easy to sew, they'll be a great starting point for our creative play today. Now, if you already know how to make this block in whatever size you like, you can skip ahead to the next chapter marker. But if you'd like some quick tips, here we go. Cut contrasting squares 1 inch larger than you want your finished half square triangle block to be. The actual mathematical measurement is 7/8 of an inch, but who wants to deal with that? We can just use an inch. Lay the fabrics right sides together and draw a line corner to corner on the back side of the lighter fabric. This will eventually be our cutting line, not the stitching line. Next, we're going to sew 1/4 of an inch away on each side of that center line. You can mark these stitching lines if you find that helpful, or you can use a 1/4 inch foot if you have one. Once both seams have been sewn, we can cut on the original line to separate the units. You'll end up with a neater half square triangle unit if you take a little bit of extra care with this next step. You can choose to press the seam allowances towards the darker fabric, or for the greatest flexibility in arranging the blocks later, press the seam allowances open. To avoid stretching our units, I'm going to use just the tip of the iron to open up the seam allowances, just like this. Running my finger ahead of the tip of the iron helps. And then, once I get it, let me get this little bitty spot. There we go. Then we'll flip it over and press again with the grain of the fabric to finish it off. Doing it this way, as opposed to pressing every which way, will help keep the sides nice and straight and even. If all your units are the same size, you can clip off those little bits hanging off the block, and then you're ready to go. But if your units vary in size, you'll need to do a quick trim. I know, it's not my favorite thing either, but it can make a huge difference in how easily your blocks will fit together. Okay, let's play. Let's start with a basic 4x4 layout, units sewn together with a 1/4 inch seam. What do you notice about this block? Right now, we've got one blue fabric, or one value of blue plus white. Simple, but super effective. And here's what happens when we put 4 blocks together. Classic, but surprisingly dynamic. But remember how I told you that value was the magic ingredient? What do you think will happen if we swap out one value of blue for a mix of blues? Here's our new block, with different values mixed in randomly. What a difference! And here are 4 blocks together. Doesn't it sparkle? This is one of the reasons scrappy quilts are so appealing. Even if the colors vary wildly, the mix of contrasting values keeps your eye moving across the quilt. Can you guess which of these first 2 layouts would be more likely to draw your attention from across the room? Well, here they are side by side. It's not a right-wrong situation, but it's definitely a different vibe. The second version has more sparkle. Now, let's think through some of the other things we can do with value changes. As we've seen, random changes in value can create sparkle, but that might not always be what you want. What if your brain prefers a visual rhythm that feels a little more controlled? Repeating value changes in a symmetrical way can create rhythm. Or maybe you want to create a sense of flow. Gradual changes in value can be used to imply movement. Or how about a glowing center? Value can come to the rescue again. When light values are concentrated together, the quilt can appear to glow. Now, let's look and see how this works in real life. Let's go back to our 4x4 block, but this time, arrange the values from darker to lighter across the block. We've created a lovely ombre pattern. And when we put 4 blocks together, it creates a lovely, almost peaceful rhythm across the quilt. But there's a twist coming. Can you think of another way that we can use those exact blocks to create a more energetic feel? Let's rotate the blocks so that the darkest color comes together in the middle. How is this going to change the overall feel of the quilt? Wow, it looks like the blades of a windmill spinning in the breeze. Same blocks, same fabrics, different arrangement of values, and a very different effect. Now, value changes don't have to be left to right. You can also shift values diagonally. What would that look like? This time, we'll do a gradation across our 4x4 block on the diagonal. And in case you're wondering, gradation is just a fancy word for a gradual shift from light to dark or dark to light. And here are 4 blocks together. To me, this design almost vibrates along those strong diagonal lines. Now, let's try swinging them around so that the lightest fabrics are grouped together. Can you guess what's going to happen? Check out the luminosity we've created. The center seems to glow. Now, let's swing the blocks around so that the darkest fabrics meet in the center. Whoa, not only do we have movement, we also have depth. Remember our scrappy blocks? Let's give them a whirl too. We still get the illusion of nesting diamonds created by the white triangles, but we also get extra sparkle from the random scattering of different values of blue. Isn't this fun? We're no longer pulled so strongly into the center of the quilt. Instead, our eyes keep moving. Let me show you how this works in a few other quilts. We stuck to one color and one shape today because I wanted to keep things simple. But the same principles are at work when you group colors and gradations of value for traditional quilts, like this classic Trip Around the World, which uses short gradations of yellow, violet, green, and pink. Or for this modern Bargello quilt, inspired by all the colors of the leaves covering the rolling hills in autumn. Or for this little portrait I made many years ago of my son Jack with his cat, using changes in value to define the shapes rather than a more realistic color palette. We could go on exploring how to use value as a design tool for days, but let's keep moving and focus on how you can start thinking about experimenting with value for yourself. When you're planning a quilt, it's helpful to ask yourself a couple of questions. Do my fabrics contrast in value? This is important because even if your fabrics are different in color, you can lose your overall design if the fabrics are too close in value. If you've ever had a quilt that looked mushy or the design didn't come through like you hoped it would, lack of contrast in value is almost always the reason. Are the value changes serving my design? Are you creating any overall effect that you're going for, whether it's sparkle, rhythm, flow, or glow? There's no wrong answer here. These are just tools. You're the one in charge. It might seem a little magical at first, but once you get the hang of it, you'll start noticing value as the backbone of quilt designs everywhere you look. If you'd like to explore these ideas further, try starting by pulling fabrics from just one color family and then sorting them by value, light to dark. It's a simple exercise, but it can completely change how you see your fabrics and maybe what you need to go shopping for. If you enjoy these kinds of design explorations, you might also like other videos on my channel about color, fabric selection, and quilt design. Consider joining my weekly email list if you'd like to keep up with all my free videos and tutorials and be among the first to hear about new live and on demand workshops coming in the next few months. There's a link in the description. Thanks so much for joining me today, and happy quilting, everyone.